Alright guys, let me get things adjusted here. I want to make sure my voice is, I don't like it that loud. Hello. Okay, let's see here. That's a little too soft, so I guess I will keep it back at that. How's everybody doing? So today's Labor Day, so I'm just gonna talk about some things I was thinking about today. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Just, I don't know, make comments if you want to, whatever. We still got. I guess I can go ahead and start, I suppose, in a minute. Let me put up that image again. I'm gonna go have a smoke, and I'll be back. By the time I get it back, I should start. Okay. Alright guys, I just needed a puff, just a puff. Alright, I'll get started here. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Noir Apologia Gaming, and what we do here is listen to you talk. So today in America it is Labor Day, so a lot of people were off work. I was thinking about doing this earlier, but I was still having a little bit of stomach issues. I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. But you know, Sophia was off, and she wasn't feeling particularly good. So, but we kind of went to the store, walked to White Route for a little bit. It's real difficult for me to walk right now because of my legs. However, hey, what's up, Denise? You know. I use a lot of this time, like when I'm sitting out there by myself, I use a lot of this time to think about. I try to compare what's going on to what used to happen with me. And one thing I told Sophia earlier was that up until I'd say, hey, what's up, Tanya? Up until about, I'm gonna say 2 years ago, really. It was after I started this business that I was still waiting, because you guys got to understand something. I made so many mistakes, so many judgment call mistakes in my life that I don't just second guess myself. I third guess myself. But I don't really second guess myself in the same way. See, before, when I would second guess myself, I would go with the second guess. I wouldn't even bother thinking about the first thing I thought about. What I try to do with people now is, I do this with Denise. I've even done this with Tanya so far. But I do this a lot with Sophia and Duan, and Lori too. But especially Sophia and Duan, where I will say something to them and I will run something by them. Not so much that I'm questioning myself, is that I want to verify if I have the right thought on a particular thing. And the reason why I have to go to these long lengths to do this is because I can't. I'm 45, man. Okay. I'm not ancient, but it's too late to be making mistakes over and over again. I'm not 20, you know. I did my mistakes, and now I have to know that I learned stuff, you know. But what I was really thinking about today is, you know, today's Labor Day, and that's an interesting word to use with me. There's some who don't really know what I do here. You know, people that don't really know how hard it is to do this stuff. Because I'm on SSI, they're like, you know, and I used to think like this too, be not mistaken. Labor Day didn't mean much to me because I wasn't thinking like anything was the right way. And well, because first of all, I wasn't working on my life anyway. But now, since I began my journey 18 years ago, and I mean, really, it's been 18 years. 18 years since I've known Sophia for 18 years. She's seen the changes. She's seen the downfalls. She's seen me go backwards. She's seen me rise to the occasion. And now she's seeing something she never thought she'd see, just like I am. But not just on the business front of this. Not just this. What I would suggest to anyone who is going through struggles, I want you to think about today like this, okay? And that it's hard to do it at first, because especially if you're on SSI and things, if you're on disability, it's really difficult to kind of look at today as that has anything to do with you, because we don't work, not in a traditional sense. Now I work now, but I'm saying before I even started this business. What I would suggest you, when you're doing when you're carrying your ingredients and you're following your steps, you are most certainly working. Don't ever let anybody tell you that differently. Look, it's hard for people that do not understand our issues. And I'm talking specifically to people like me. It is hard for people to understand that you've got to understand. They cannot understand. It's not that they don't want to. Many people that want to try to help you, they want to. And they have this solution, this solution, this solution. In the end, you can take whatever advice you want to. But in the end, it's you that's going to have to do the work. I used to give Sophia 100% of the credit for changing me. All right? Now that's both wrong and it's also right. If it wasn't for her, I would not have changed. However, as she has pointed out 10,000 times, and I finally get what she means. I finally, in the last few years, I understand what she means now. Me and her would have these debates about, I just didn't agree with her perspective that I had anything to do with it. I wasn't giving myself any credit. Well, that's not a correct perspective. Okay? Your family, whoever your family might be, or people that maybe used to deal with you, they may never understand you. It doesn't matter. That's what this is all for. So if you don't have someone to go to, someone like Megan, who, I'm going to say it again, I hope everybody's praying for her. I hope everybody on here is praying for her, because I'll tell you now, it's wrong what's going on. She's going to a homeless shelter today, man. It's wholly unbelievable to me. But it's for people like Megan who feel like, I mean, she said it to me, not to y'all, she said it to me, that nobody cares about her. That breaks my heart. Y'all, that breaks my heart. So you look at me, whoever you might be, you're not alone. This day, any holiday, these are the worst times for us. Let's just be honest. It sucks having Thanksgiving all by yourself. It sucks having Christmas all by yourself. And I remember. But you're not alone. I don't care if you live in China. The greatest part about social media now is I can still talk to you right from here. So long as I'm not talking about politics, of course. But doing this, I don't care where you're from. I may never meet you. It doesn't matter to me. Everyone needs a friend. I don't care what you do. And especially people like me that they struggle with things. Y'all look, people who don't know me are getting to know me still, even Denise. You don't know how hard I work for this. I am the way I am now because I worked. So Labor Day, it's kind of for me too. It's something that I'm just now realizing. It's kind of sad. I'm just now realizing something because it's obvious when you think on it, that even though I was on SSI the entire time, instead of sitting on my butt just waiting for my next check, I was working on myself the entire time. The entire time, just about the entire time I've been on SSI. I hate being on SSI. I hate it. I loathe it. I feel like it's stealing. But I needed it. At the time that I got on it, I was a mess, man. You know, I was thinking about today. I was thinking about the differences between me now and me. Hey, what's up, Lori? And me a long time ago, and it's just, it's crazy to me to think about all of the people that are around me now. I can't turn my head around a corner without a person knowing me and asking me how my day is now. Just that alone is enough to give me all the encouragement I need. But then on top of it, I can, when the person's available, talk to that person. So it doesn't matter whether Tanya lives in Fort Worth. It doesn't matter whether Denise lives in Brazil. It doesn't matter if Lori, like last night, Lori was tired. We didn't have normally our normal smoke after I get off my live last night. And y'all all knew I was tired anyway. So I think half the reason why she did it is because of that. But see, that's the point. I didn't have anybody thinking about me like that. And so it would be wrong for me not to return the favor to others. So one of the reasons why I push myself so hard is because of that. Because who am I? Who am I, honestly, without you guys? And I hope to provide that for y'all. I hope that my family, my little family here, we all provide that to whoever it may be. That's my one wish, more than money, more than all of it. I remember what it was like to be so alone. I'm not alone anymore, y'all. But why am I not alone? I had that discussion with Sophia today. I was thinking about one thing that one of the coolest things about what's going on with me right now, and Duan too, by the way, is that we're not used to this. Me and Dwan are not used to good things happening to us like this. But then it goes to reason that why? Why is this happening? Well, guess what? Because I'm doing the work. Because I'm for the first time in my life, I am introducing myself to people, talking to people, and getting to know them. I was never antisocial so much as I was so uncomfortable in my skin that I was embarrassed to be myself around people. One of the things about carrying your ingredients and following your steps is it's work. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there to be an instead of, as I like to say. It's there to be there for you. It's like your friend, like when you don't have anyone else around at the moment, especially when you begin this journey. If you're as bad as I was, there are going to be some times that you feel like that nothing's changing in your life. What do you do then? Well, you have two options. You know what the road behind you looks like. And that's really what it comes down to. You know what the road behind you looks like, and it's awful. Or you can go down the scary road that you don't know about. Yeah, you don't know about it. You don't know nothing about it. Your future. This stuff gives you power beyond your imagination. Just knowing you're not alone, just knowing that fact, can give you the strength to get through anything. Anything. I swear it on everything I believe in. My mom has been dead for 22 years. I know that even though she's been dead for 22 years, I will always have my mother right here in this room. Because I have her memories. I have what she taught me. And that is strength. It is amazing what it will do for you. But on top of it, when you start really getting to know yourself and then likewise getting to know other people, and you know that you have someone to go to for advice. You have someone to go and get your crap off your chest. Heck, the want to thing, say, well, what if I don't want to? Your friends are going to push you. Let me tell you something about my friends here, and whoever else watches this. The people that actually get on here right now, like Denise and Tanya and Lori and those people. Tanya, I just met Tanya, and she already pushes me. Not in a negative way, in a most confident way. When you start actually having a decisive judgment in your life and stop making the mistakes like you used to, I'm talking about to people like me, not necessarily to you. And it's more than just growing up. See, everybody goes, well, that's... I'm not being mean to anybody when I say this, but it's not just a maturity thing. Not with people like me. I would have never become what you call mature had it not been for Sophia. She pushed me at every level. And trust me, it was so annoying. Now I get pushed in a different way. Now it's not just to get up in the morning or not to drink and things like that. Now it's to push myself. See, both me and Sophia never saw it like this. No, I can assure you, I never thought this was possible, that I could do this stuff. That I could be in a position that I could learn things about graphics design and how to cut and edit a video and have the testicular fortitude at any point in my life to get on a video like this and talk about my life. Nor did I ever want to. Let me make sure that light was bright enough. For some reason it didn't look right. And so those are the changes that are the most amazing part. And there are changes that I noticed about myself that even Sophia doesn't know. I was talking about some of those earlier with Sophia. One of the changes that there's not a possibility that she could have known was the thing I kind of touched over earlier about me meeting new people. You got to understand something. I was never antisocial. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was good enough for people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not true anymore. I do think I'm good enough to talk to you. Well, when you think you're good enough to do something, you're gonna be more confident at doing it. Even up until 2 years ago, being on social media like this was still very awkward. So certain questions, these are things that I just noticed about myself that none of you could know because it's in my head, not yours. Would be like, people would ask me, well, Daryl, what do you do? Well, my shame of being on SSI, my embarrassment of being on SSI at 45 years old was so strong that I would get irritated with people that asked me that question, even up until 2 years ago. But when that incident happened in December, I was talking about this with Sophia. I said, one thing I was scared of, and I wasn't scared of it in the same way as I used to be, but I was still scared of it. There's still this fear that what if this thing that I'm doing, what if this is just another one of Daryl's where he's on a manic high and he does stuff and he doesn't finish it. I was really afraid of that because at first when I was doing this, it was pure adrenaline from doing cool stuff that I never thought I could do. Starting a website, those sorts of things. But I had this secret fear, and I never talked about it, not even with Sophia. And I can talk about it now because it's not there anymore. I know it's not there. Is what happens when I lose my how do you say it? I guess lose my excitement for what I'm doing. What happens? What if I discover that I really didn't want to do this? It's not good, is it? Do you know when that was actually quelled? It's funny. It's the strange things that you learn from mistakes that you make if you know how to recognize it. When I got arrested for trying to kill myself and all that hubbub with Sophia, there was a moment there at first, for the first couple of days I was in jail, that I really considered quitting. I mean, it was not a joke. I thought it was over. I thought that I was embarrassed. I was saddened by what had happened. I was still recovering from the thought that I hurt her, which I never did. Because they had convinced me that I had put my hands on her or something, and that's not even what happened. I tried to kill myself. None of it made sense. But without getting into detail about that, the point is, there was a point there that I wanted to quit. Well, there was this guy I met in jail, and he was telling me his story. Now, don't you think it's funny that they tried to charge me for domestic assault? And they put me in the psych ward part of the jail. It's a little strange, don't you think? Just in my opinion. But anyway, this guy had problems. And he was a meth head. And he was in a worse situation than me. That not only were they accusing him of domestic assault, his ex-girlfriend, or it was clearly his ex-girlfriend by that point, but his ex-girlfriend and her mother took his house. And weren't going to give it back. And he was talking to me, and I've talked to him for a few days, and he was telling me all of his kind of story and whatever. And I just asked him, I said, have you ever been diagnosed with anything? Well, anyway, long story short, I talked to this guy, and as I'm listening to him, I'm calming down. That's weird, right? And it's not that his story calmed me down, it's that in jail, I'm working. That not only did it stop me from thinking negatively about the situation as far as what I'm going to do, it actually, I said to myself at that moment, in fact, I have some, maybe someday when I get the courage to, maybe I'll type out my little notes that I put up while I was in jail. I wrote some like little comments and stuff every day about my experience when I was in jail. I did that when I was in jail the first time too. Just to get my thoughts out. But one of the things I talked, the day that it happened, you can see because my notes change. They go from being, I gotta figure out someplace to go, blah blah blah, and you can tell I'm freaking out, to this is what I was born to do. That I can't give up because of people like that. Because of people like Megan. You understand? Because if I give up, that's the sin. See? The sin is knowing you can do something, knowing you have an idea, and you've done nothing about it. That's the sin. It's not about the can't, it's about the won't. It's about allowing fear to guide your life to the point where you watch pain and suffering and you do nothing. And because of the amount of pain and suffering I've been through, the amount of learning I've had to do to change my life, I have a lot to say. And I have a lot to teach, and I have a lot to show, and I have a lot to do. So when I was in jail, this was 2 years ago, keep in mind, it not only didn't stop me, the day after I got out, so I got out on New Year's Eve, technically New Year's morning, because they let me out really late. I got on live Facebook that day, Saturday, and ripped the Dallas police apart to shreds. That's how much I scared. That's how much I was afraid of being charged for this. Because I didn't do nothing wrong. Because I realized that they were, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. And then you know what I did that night? I put up the last video of the year. In fact, I put up 2 videos that weekend. Because I was late because I was in jail. Because I was doing basically a video a week. That's how much I was scared off by what I was doing. And that's when I realized, no, Daryl, you are definitely not doing this because of some manic high. You're not doing this because of some manic episode. Because I'm sure that other people were waiting for that. I can tell you there are people that were in my life, specifically in my family, that were just waiting for me to come down to stop, like I always do. I quit everything. I quit nothing. Y'all see me come on here. And I don't do it to brag about it. I do it to show you that, yes, actually, if you want something bad enough, if you carry your first ingredient, if you want it bad enough, if you're ambitious enough, you can do anything. You want to know how ambitious Alexander the Great was? He's an example that I give all the time. The city of Tyre. Okay, by the way, ironically, the siege of Tyre that Alexander the Great did was part of a prophecy of the Bible. I'm not going to get into it, but it's a pretty cool prophecy about the destruction of Tyre. But Tyre, they had 2 sections to their city. One was on land, and one was on sea. And remember that Tyrenians that were related to Sidon, the same Sidon that's over there now. It's the same city, really old cities over there. Damascus. Damascus is the oldest. Damascus is the oldest city in the world in which people have continuously lived in for ever. Okay, so those cities are old. Sidon started the city of Tyre, and Tyre started the city of Carthage. And the Carthaginians were magnificent sailors. They were magnificent warriors too. Built great cities all around the Mediterranean. Okay? So they had this smart, brilliant military plan, and they were also just rich to the hilt. But no one had ever taken that city. Nebuchadnezzar, yes, that's right, the same Nebuchadnezzar from the Bible. In fact, the Bible talks about him too in that same prophecy. Talk about that the king of Babylon will come up to you, to put you under siege, but it will not be your time, so you won't be taken. He put that city under siege for what, 15 years? Something like that, 10 years, long time. City didn't fall because they had two cities, a mainland city and an island city. So when they were under siege, they could just flee to the island, and they were magnificent sailors. So you were just gonna, I mean, taking an island anyways is an awful proposition to try to do. You got to figure it out. Well, when Alexander the Great considered himself a liberator. He didn't consider himself a conqueror. He thought he was liberating those people from the Persian Empire. So he came in there and he was offering them freedom. But they didn't consider themselves slaves. So they said, nah, we're all right. And Alexander the Great was like, oh, hell no. Did you just reject me? Okay. Here's what's going to happen, dog. I'm going to take your mainland city, just like the Bible says, by the way. It says that the king of Greece will come up against you and will throw your city into the sea. It's exactly what Alexander the Great did. He threw the mainland city, all the buildings, into the sea and created a causeway, one of the most magnificent military tactics I've ever heard of, seen. That's why he's probably the greatest general ever. But so he threw there, and he's being attacked, and they burnt half of it, half of the bridge at one point, but he finally reached the mainland, or excuse me, the island city, and he took it. That's ambition. Now, am I telling you to go take a city? No. Think about the concept, what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people that aren't ambitious, I was like this, will come up against something and the hell, we did it as the United States citizens when we broke out from Britain. We were the underdogs, baby. How did we do that? How did we beat one of the greatest empires in history, the British Empire was, and had their land up until World War II? How did we do that? Same way that Alexander the Great did, and individually the same way that Steve Jobs did. Same way Elon Musk does. He's going against the Brazilian government right now. Motivation, baby. You take your brain and you figure it out. There's going to be costs, though. Depends on how bad the opposition is against you. If you're talking about government and things like that, they're not going to like you disobeying. That might be jail time if you're fighting something like slavery, Civil War. But even the Civil Rights Movement, people were thrown in jail. Take what's going on right now. They found those 6 dead hostages. And Israel's being pressured. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about politics, but this does matter. I'm proud of Israel for how they're doing this. Even their own people now is giving in. starting riots yesterday. They're getting worn down. People that get worn down, they want to stop. You're looking at it live stream, literally. Go look at the situation in Israel. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Israel's correct tactic is to annihilate Hamas, to eliminate them from the planet, not to make a deal. Because all it's going to do is so they can escape and get away with it. The terms that they're asking Israel is wrong. And only a moron would take those terms. But unfortunately, they got big countries like the United States and other places trying to pressure them, say, make a deal, and now their own people is giving in because of the deaths of those people. Sometimes being motivated can get you not liked by your own people. Sometimes motivation can get one of your family members to not like you. I'm not mad at Andrea. Andrea's going through hell. But she's not my friend right now. She doesn't want to be. And I don't force people to do things. But Andrea's like this because she's given in. She can't see the forest for the trees. When you can't see the forest for the trees, you're going to make mistakes. Tactically speaking, militarily speaking, and that's the way I always think about these things. I attack my problems militarily speaking. I use tactics and logic, and I cannot give in. So, for example, I could give Megan money. I could have Sophia right now draw $1,000 out of my Roth IRA and then fuck myself. It doesn't. Patience and time, people. And history will be the judge of whether you're right or wrong. Steve Jobs is another one. Steve Jobs got fired from Apple back in the early 1980s, and Apple went to the shitter. He helped make Microsoft better. They fired him, and then you get the old-fashioned Apple IIes, crap computers. He comes back and created one of the greatest devices ever created, ever, the iPhone. Sometimes your value isn't seen until you're missed. People that are married experience that all the time. You know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's hard to be motivated when people are against you. I know that. I've lost so many people. I have people that were great friends with me that I've known since high school that will probably never talk to me again because of my views on abortion. We're on the opposite ends of the spectrum on that, and they don't want to hear what I say, and they themselves, even though they know it's not true with me, they put me in a group of people that think I hate them. I'm a Christian. When a person finds out I'm a Christian and they're an atheist or an agnostic, they automatically assume I hate them. Or gay people automatically assume I hate them. Even though I've had so many gay friends, it's not even funny. When you're doing what's right, you're going to have static. I did a whole video on static. You will get static doing what's right. Fact. But I think I've reached a point in my life, I've gotten enough static in my whole life, that I am pardon the pun, I have like this permanent static clean, like the static clean barrier around me, like when you wash clothes. You can't get mad at me, you can't attack me, you can't do anything to me anymore. I'm going to do what's right, and either follow or don't. I'm not here for me. I don't have to get on here, and I have fixed my life. I'm fixing my life. As we speak, I may realize more things about my life than every day. But I do this because I see pain and I see suffering, and I want you guys to be better, and I want even my friends that are normal and have had careers like Denise or like Tanya, like Lori. They don't need help in the same way as I did. But everyone needs help. Everyone needs, in my opinion, this is my opinion, okay? I don't expect everybody to be like me. I don't understand people who want to stay the same. I'm going to be, okay, I honestly don't want to live to be 100, but let's just say I do live to be 100. I'm not going to be one of those 100-year-old men that looks at the younger generation and goes, well, your music sucks. My music was better because I liked it. I'm always going to be on the cutting edge of everything. And never, when it comes to things. Now, there are some the things that I will never change on. I'm always going to believe in God. Not because of my mommy and daddy. My mom's been dead for 22 years. I think we're past that point now. And I rejected my mom while she was alive anyway. No, I know there's a God. And I can prove it to you. And just wait till that other channel comes out. I'm going to show you a lot of stuff you ain't never know about how to defend your faith. I do this because I love you guys. I keep saying that. Whether you believe me or not is irrelevant to me. I don't have to say I love you. I show you it. You should see it in my work. You should see it in the things I do. I do it because my mom showed me how to work hard for others. And I lost that for a while. I lost that for quite a while. I've never been evil. Now, there's some people who would disagree with me. But I've never been evil. I was confused for a long time. About myself, about everything that was going on. And I want to take chaos and create order. Chaotic minds for people like me are dangerous. I'm outright telling you. The problem is there are groups of people out there that want to try to create a chaotic world around people like me, and not everybody knows how to deal with it. And so people do things like, I don't know, try to shoot Donald Trump. Yeah, that guy was messed up. He wasn't normal. Was what he did right? Of course not. But I sit here and I think about these things every day, trying to make your guys' life more educational, to give you guys something so that if you meet somebody at your work or you meet somebody that you just happen to be around and you see them have an issue, you know what to do. You know how to teach them about the ingredients and about the steps and to guide them through something. You won't need me. Not on that. Because I'm always going to be putting up my videos. There's all sorts of advice I'm going to be giving. I haven't done the videos yet. And I'm sorry that I have health issues right now, and so sometimes it's bad for me. But be assured that I don't do anything but think about y'all. That was my message for today. Sometimes you don't need to learn anything except for one thing, that I care about you, that Dwan cares about you. And Denise is beginning to care about you. All the people that I hang around have hearts. And Lori cares about everybody, to her own detriment, as she says. I want you guys to go into the work week tomorrow since most Americans were off today, I want you guys to go into the work week tomorrow. I want you to be strong in your faith, strong in your conviction. Always be prepared for any question. Be prepared for anything. And if you're not prepared, be assured that if I don't know the answer, I'll go find it out for you. So, that being said, I'm going to go and try to work with some more of my videos. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Be safe when you're traveling today. I hope you guys did not drink and drive. I know the people on here probably didn't, but don't drink and drive, okay? Stupid. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. You can't expect everybody to always come to you. You got to try to give them a hope, give them a beacon to go to, a standard, as I always say. Be understanding of yourself that you have limits. You're not God. If you do not know the answer, though, find it out. Don't just blurt your mouth out. Giving your opinion is great. To have a conversation, giving your opinion for an answer is not a great idea. You need to find out fact for you, especially for people like me that are trying. That you don't want to give false information and lead someone astray, right? And like, take me. I mean, I feel bad for Megan's situation, but there's nothing I can do. So you can't go broke trying to save everybody. And you can't get wrapped up in people's problems so much that you get depressed or whatever yourself, right? Remember, life is fleeting. You are not promised your next breath. So take now to go learn some things about other things outside your box. You never know what you might find out about yourself. And until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.